Today we're going to take a look at renting versus buying and which may be better for your situation. Let's go. What's going on, YouTube fam? Welcome back to another edition of Living in Coastal Delaware. Like I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be discussing renting versus buying and some pros and cons of each one so you can make the decision that's right for you. Before we dive into the video, if you could do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button just down below, that really helps us out on the channel to bring you all fresh content each and every week and to help keep you in the loop with all things Coastal Delaware. And then if you are someone that's looking to buy or sell real estate here in Coastal Delaware, I would love the opportunity to work with you, so please do not hesitate to reach out. All my information will be down below in the description and here on the screen. Now let's dive in. So many people in the real estate industry are going to tell you that you need to buy. Renting is no good. You're just throwing your money away if you're renting. But, that doesn't really paint the whole picture. There are some scenarios where renting is a smarter option than buying. And I just want to take some time today, go over some pros and cons of each one and really give you an idea of, what you may be looking at if you're sitting on the fence, just so you can make the best decision for you. First, we're going to take a look at renting. Now, the first pro of renting is that it buys you the patience you need before you decide to buy something. So, maybe you've got a debt that you need to pay off, or maybe you've got, you just need to save up a little bit more for your down payment. Renting gives you the opportunity to just wait just a little bit to get those ducks in a row so that you can then ultimately buy. It's just, again, buying patience until you are ready to buy, which ultimately should be the goal for a number of reasons. Number two on the list of pros for renting is going to be that you don't have to take care of the major systems. While yes, you should make sure your HVAC is working and that your water heater is not leaking all over the floor, but if any of those issues come up with those systems, the homeowner or the landlord is responsible for fixing or replacing those systems, and the cost of that falls on them. So that does not have to come out of your pocket, which could be, thousands of dollars that you could be paying for like an HVAC unit, like $10,000, that the renter doesn't have to worry about. So if you're a little bit tight on cash right now, maybe renting is the better option for you. The next item we have on the list for the benefits of renting is it lets you try out an area. Take Coastal Delaware, for instance. Maybe you've only ever heard of Rehoboth Beach. So you're going to come down here, you're going to rent, and you're going to find a place in Rehoboth Beach, which is tough right now, to rent year round, just so you can try out the area. And all of a sudden you realize, oh, well, I really like the town of Milton, but I didn't know it existed before. Or I really like the town of, Bethany Beach, but nobody ever told me that was there before. I never really realized it was, the way it is. Little nuances like that, renting gives you the opportunity to test drive the area, make sure you like it, and just really get your feet wet before you ultimately dive into buying and making an even bigger financial decision. The biggest con of renting, and the only one we're going to cover today, the biggest con of renting is that when you move out of that home, you do not take any equity with you. So when you leave that home, every dollar you've spent on rent thus far stays behind. It doesn't come with you. So you don't get to, take all this money from selling and upgrade your lifestyle. Unfortunately, that money is spent, it's gone. So there is no money that's going with you like you would have if you were selling a home. Just another, little nuance there, but just wanted to give you guys the pros and cons of renting. Now we're going to take a look at some pros and cons of buying. So the biggest list of pros for buying, and probably number one on that list, is the biggest con of renting, and that's going to be the equity. With that equity in your home that you build up through paying your mortgage, you end up getting a lot of benefits from that. You can take out a home equity line of credit to redo a kitchen. When you sell your home, you get that equity to go with you, so you can now not have to save up as much for a down payment for a bigger home, or, maybe you're moving into a similar home and you don't have to worry about a down payment because that money's just moving from one house to the other. The equity there is really what is the biggest wealth builder for a lot of families here in the United States. And it's probably, like I said, the biggest pro of owning a home is that you do build up that equity because you're going to be making a monthly mortgage payment instead of a monthly rent payment. So all that money is just money that you're essentially saving, aside from the interest payment, obviously, but you're saving up towards, you know, building wealth for your family as you go along. Number 2 on the list of pros of owning your own home is that you can pretty much do with it what you want. Yes, you may have an HOA that you need to deal with, and you know, maybe they've got certain restrictions or your community's got certain restrictions, but for the most part, you can pretty much do as you please with your own home. You know, say you wanted to paint your bathroom fluorescent green, you can do it. Say you wanted to paint your bedroom hot pink, you can do it. In a rental, a lot of those options are not there because, you know, the homeowner wants to keep their home in a certain way with certain colors and that kind of stuff. So you're not able to make it truly your own. Whereas when you own the asset and own the home, you can pretty much, again, do what you please as long as you're not in a community where the HOA states you have to do certain things, which even if you are, the rules are much less restrictive with an HOA than they are with renting. So again, you can mostly do what you please with the home. Number 3 on the list of pros is that the majority of the time for a similar living situation, buying will be less expensive than renting. Now, what does that does not mean that the upfront cost of buying will be less expensive than renting. That means over the life of living there. So your mortgage payment on a house that you're looking at may be, say it's $1,500 a month. However, that same house, you know, if it's on the rental market, maybe the landlord there is charging $2,000 a month. So you're saving $500 a month by having the mortgage. Again, I understand the down payment at the start is going to be a lot more sizable when you're buying something versus renting something. But just know that the monthly payment in a similar living situation is more than likely going to be lower with a purchase than it is in renting, because in renting, the person that owns that home is looking to make a profit. So they're going to be charging more to turn a profit than if you were to buy and just be making the mortgage payments yourself. And then we come to the biggest con of owning your own real estate, and that is, you know, again, what was one of the pros on the rental side is one of the biggest cons on the buying side, and that is if those major systems in your home, again, your hot water heater, your HVAC, your oven, your refrigerator, you know, if any of those systems break, that cost now falls on you. So if, you know, your HVAC goes up and you've got to replace the whole system and it's $12,000 to replace, you're going to be coming out of pocket for that $12,000 or financing that $12,000, but you're going to be paying for it one way or the other. Whereas if you're renting, you don't have to. So, you know, there's just some nuances and some different ideas to consider there throughout both renting and buying that you should really take a look at the whole picture. Again, I know most people in the industry will tell you that buying is better than renting, which in most situations it is, but there are definitely some situations where renting is better. So I just wanted to give you guys just a few things to consider on both sides of the coin. That way you can make, again, the best financial decision and the best lifelong decision for you. I hope you guys were able to take some value away from today's video. If you did take something away, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button down below. That really helps us out here on the channel so we can keep bringing you fresh content each and every week. And then again, if you are someone that's looking to buy or sell real estate here in Coastal Delaware, all my information will be down below in the description. I'll have it here again on the screen. So please do not hesitate to shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whichever is easier for you. I would love the opportunity to work with you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.